Well, I hope you folks had a good Christmas. I know I did, but now we have to get back to this cold reality that we're dealing with right now, and that is the fact that for the third consecutive year in a row, the Steelers are going on this collapse that they've been going on the last couple of years. And this one probably hurts the most because of the way they started the season 11-0, and here we are, 3 losses in a row. Washington, I mean, it was bad, but I mean, Washington has been playing pretty well under Alex Smith. Buffalo, slowly but surely, I'm starting to realize that they're actually one of the better teams, if not the best team in the NFL right now. I know that's crazy to think that, but they kind of are right now. But the Cincinnati loss, man, that was just inexcusable. I mean, I was so mad about that one. Like, leading up to Christmas, it's like, just once I would like to go into the holidays without feeling depressed because the Steelers keep losing these easy games, but I'll be damned. But, well, here we are again, and this week we've got the Colts. The Colts are a playoff-bound team. Been playing very well. I think they've won 9 in a row since the last. I think they have won 9 in a row. No, they haven't won 9 in a row, but they've won. They've been on a stretch of good games the last couple of weeks. They've beaten some pretty good teams. They beat the Packers. They beat the Titans in Tennessee. And they're just playing really well right now. And now they got to come to Pittsburgh. And Colts have not played very well here as of late. I think the only time they've ever won here in Pittsburgh was when Peyton Manning was at his peak, like in, I believe, 2008. Yeah, 2008. The Colts played to beat the Steelers, but that was the year the Steelers went to the Super Bowl that year, and yeah, the Colts very rarely lose to the Steelers, and now we got Phillip Rivers coming to town, and Phillip Rivers he's been a Steeler killer the last couple of years. Like when I remember the last time that he came to Heinz Field when he was with the Chargers. That was when the Chargers were very good. They went 12-4 that year, and that was one of the Steelers' biggest collapses they've ever had because they had like a 24-7 lead, I think, and then they blew that lead, and yeah, that was a tough one. That was the worst game I've been to when I went to Heinz Field. I'll put a link to that video up on the side here, but yeah, that was a rough one. And now he's with the Colts, and the Colts been playing pretty well the last couple of weeks. They've been playing pretty good this season. The defense has been playing very well. Although I will say they have played the Texans twice, and those are games that they almost blew, but because the Texans kept screwing up on the final drive of the game, they won those 2 games, so there is maybe some vulnerability there. I know that Anthony Costanzo, one of their offensive tackles, isn't playing, and two other guys because they're on the COVID list. But even then, like, even if you take these big pieces away, you can't really trust the Steelers to win right now. Now, I mean, look what happened with Cincinnati. I mean, they lost a ton of their starters on there and this season, and when they finally played them, they beat the Steelers. Like, the Steelers lost to a third-string quarterback, for God's sake. And I don't know. I just don't think that... Nothing really has convinced me that this team is going to do very well in the weeks to come. I mean, it'd be nice if they win this week so they don't have to worry about playing the Browns at their home, because if the Steelers lose to the Colts and the Browns win this game tomorrow against the Jets, even though they're not going to have their starting wide receivers because they're on the COVID list as well, and they're not going to be playing as well as a couple of other people, but I still think the Browns probably win that game. But if the Browns win that game and the Steelers lose this game, I feel like that's going to be the Sunday Night Football matchup for the finale next week, and you just know that Cleveland's going to be the center of attention there, just like the Patriots opened there last year. And the Steelers probably have no chance of getting in there, and then the collapse just completely comes together, and the Steelers are forced to play a wild card game as the away team when they were 11-0 and they lose their last 5 games. I hope that's not the case, but nothing really has convinced me these last couple of weeks that the Steelers are going to find a way to fix this. As long as Randy Fichtner is still the offensive coordinator, I just don't think it's going to happen. So one can hope. can hope that this is a late Christmas miracle, that the Steelers win this game, they win the AFC North, and they can probably rest their starters and get ready for the game that's probably going to be a wild card matchup. But yeah, like I said, nothing has really convinced me that that's going to happen. I mean, I will say this, the running game had got going in the second half. The Steelers looked better in the second half than they did in the first half, but it was still not enough to beat Cincinnati. And I don't know. My heart is telling me to go with the Steelers, but I just can't do that anymore. I really do think the Colts just come in here. They barely beat the Steelers in this one, I think. It's going to be, like, I feel like they're going to want revenge for what happened last year when Vinatieri missed the field goal that would have won them the game. I feel like Rodrigo Blankenship will probably kick a game-winning field goal in the final seconds. That's just my gut feeling going on right now. And I just feel like the Colts are going to win this game, and it's just going to be, this nightmare is going to continue for the Steelers. This is going to continue into the rest of the year unless I see something different than I've seen in the last couple of weeks from the Steelers. I don't think they have enough there to win. And I feel like everyone else, I feel like they're going to be one and done if they can't figure out these problems and how to fix them. So, sadly, yes, I'm going with the Colts on this one, which is rare. I don't usually pick the away team, the other team to win, but with the way things have been going the last couple of weeks, I don't trust anything right now. So, hope for the best, but expect the worst. So, we will go ahead and see what happens.
To change, make sure to check out the FanDuel Sportsbook app or website for the most up-to-date odds.
Time now to beat the bus, and I am holding steady. We all picked the same last week, so all of us went 2-1. That means my 3-game lead over Jerome is still intact, and there's 2 weeks left in our competition. We have 5 games on the slate this week. Jerome, we start with you for your pick between the Steelers and the Colts.
You know, this is one of those games where the Steelers, they have to now dig deep, find out what type of football team they are, and assess themselves and go out and play much better. This is one of those games that Ben has to bounce back. I expect he will. And as Ben goes, this football team goes. So I expect the Steelers to win this football game. It's going to be tough, but I do believe the Steelers win this game defensively. They playing well.
Yeah, we're kind of all in agreement on this one. We all believe the Steelers will bounce back against Indy, but the FanDuel Sportsbook betting line as of this show taping is the Colts, favored by 1.5 at Heinz Field. Now, the Browns at the Jets, no surprise, we are all picking Cleveland to win. The Browns favored by 9.5 points. The Giants at the Ravens, 2 teams trying to fight for their playoff lives. All of us are picking Baltimore to win this one. The Ravens favored by 10.5 points. The Bengals at the Texans. Can Cincinnati make it 2 in a row? All 3 of us said no. However, Jerome, I had a couple back and forth with this one. The Texans are favored by 8, and we have a fantastic Sunday night on Channel 11. The Titans at the Packers. Green Bay favored by 3. All 3 of us are taking the Packers at home. Now, remember, you can check sportsbook.fanduel.com.
Here are today's Pepsi Picks, brought to you by Pepsi, the official soft drink of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
All right, here we go with the Pepsi Picks here, and we will start with you, Rich. What do you like today?
I like the Colts. I hate to say it, I went back and forth on this one, but I'm just going with the team that's playing better right now. The Colts have won 5 of their last 6. I think they win this by 3, but it's hard to believe that the Steelers are home underdogs.
Yeah, they are by 1.5, Charlie.
Everything's telling me to pick the Colts today, but right now the Steelers' backs are against the wall. I'm going Steelers 19-17 today.
All right, as far as Jerry Dulac is concerned, well, he told us from Heinz Field that he likes the Colts, and so do I. Again, I don't like the dynamics going on with the Steelers right now, so I would be surprised, but hopeful the Steelers can win that game. Now it's time.
North champions. That message at home at halftime. Pass, made out of the air. Connor, 8 of those, right? I can tell you,
Well, Kansas City's got the 1 seed, but Pittsburgh's still right in there if they can end this out with a win.
I'm gonna guess.
Look at that shot.
Pure guesswork. We got a lot to decide right here. Guys on that roster, they can celebrate. Jets fans, I'm not so sure because that almost ensures that the Jags will clinch the #1 pick in the draft today.
So the Steelers may not have to win this game in order to win the division.
Regardless what they're going to do.
Here we go, 4th and 7. No flags? No flags? Oh my God! Ah! What just happened? Okay, nothing good. Wow. That was a rough one to watch, but in the end... Well, it wasn't pretty. It was not pretty at all, but... The Pittsburgh Steelers are AFC North champions, but more importantly, they're actually going to win a game for the first time in 3 weeks. I'm shaking. I'm so excited. Like I said, it wasn't pretty, but there you go. AFC North champions.
Kansas City claims the one. Pittsburgh claims the AFC North. Cleveland is driving in the late stages, but 7 down. They will not have that game next week, hosting Pittsburgh for the division. They're fighting for their own playoff lives now. All this is going to be sorted out on the State Farm postgame show. 28-24 final here. The Steelers come storming back to take it. For Tony and Tracy, Jim Nance saying so long from the Steel City. Let's go to JP in New York.
Boy, it feels good to be wrong for once. Oh, wow. The Steelers got me today. They really did. I really did not think that they were going to win another game this season. And judging by what happened today in the first half, it really didn't look like the Steelers were really doing anything that great on offense. Let me dip the camera down a little bit. There we go. But, yeah, the Colts ran all over them in the first half. I think it was like they were up 21-7. You really thought that the Steelers really didn't have anything to work with, and everyone was just saying, abandon all hope, ye who enter here, myself included, but I'll be damned. Whatever they did in the second half to fix those problems, they fixed them pretty well, and they won the game convincingly. I think they said it was like the second biggest comeback, or maybe the biggest comeback in Mike Tomlin's history as the head coach for the Steelers, and I'm stunned. I'm honestly stunned in a good way. Like, I really did not think this team had any life left in them, but whatever they did in the second half to fix the problems, I don't know if they told Randy Fichtner, you gotta go finally, but whatever they did, it worked. And they actually look like that team that we saw earlier in the year. I mean, Roethlisberger was throwing the ball pretty deep several times to Deontay Johnson, to Juju Smith-Schuster. Eric Ebron had a touchdown, and the defense came through, although it was another one of those hold-your-breath moments at the end. But when it was all said and done, finally something went the Steelers' way today. Like, they won the game, and even if they hadn't won the game, it still would have been upsetting, but they would have at least still won the AFC North because the Jets beat the Browns today pretty convincingly. 2020 is a strange year, I'll just say that. But with that said, though, there's still a lot of problems that this team has to face with, but they stopped the bleeding. They got the monkey off their back. They finally won a game after starting the year 11-0. They're at least going to be 12-4 at the least. And they still have a chance for the 2 seed, not the 1 seed anymore because Kansas City won. Although Atlanta gave them a good fight today, honestly. But it was Younghoe Koo, the kicker for the Falcons, who kind of screwed that up at the end. But I'm feeling a lot better than I did the last time a Steelers game ended. But I'm happy. Steelers are AFC North champions. I literally bought the gear as soon as the game was over online. Yes, I am a hypocrite. But, like I said, enjoy it while it lasts because these moments don't usually last forever. And I still don't know how long this run is going to last. I mean, was this the spark the Steelers needed to finally get off that skid? Or was this just a minor lapse and then the downturn's going to start over again? But, I mean, the Steelers right now, they're in a position where they can actually rest starters next week, get them ready for the wild card game the week after that. But today was a lot better than I thought it was going to be, so I'm grateful for that, and I'm grateful that this is going to continue for at least a couple more weeks, and we're going to have at least one more game at Heinz Field this season, so feeling pretty good right now. The Steelers are AFC North champions, and it was a stretch to get there, but we're almost there. We finally made it. We finally got the division. Now we need to start the run to the Super Bowl, if we can do that. But still a couple weeks to find that out, and we'll just watch and see what happens.